Good afternoon, football fans. Welcome to Bishop Connolly High School for the Cougars home openers. They face off against the Salem High School Witches. Evan Massoud with you here on a beautiful day for football here in mid-September. The Cougars coming off a great season last year. They started this season off well with a W on the road, and now they come home ready to play in front of their home fans for the first time in 2015. You see the captains out at midfield getting ready for the coin toss. 4 captains for the Cougars. We have number 3, Trey Morris, number 4, Kevin Sullivan, number 52, Trevor Reese, and number 59, Adam Delicar. For the visiting Salem Witches, they have a pair of captains, number 52, Bailey Skeffington, and number 54, Edward Duran. So the fans filing in here to the Connolly Football Stadium. Salem will receive the opening kick. The Cougars will kick off from right to left. And we are just about ready for some football. I mentioned that the Cougars had a great season last year, and they finished on a bit of a winning streak. As it turned out, the way that the new MIAA playoff brackets work, after the Cougars were eliminated from the playoffs, losing to Cohasset in the semifinals of the South D6 bracket, the Cougars went into non-playoff football for 1 week prior to Thanksgiving. Their Thanksgiving Day rival is Pope John Paul II. Well, they ended up playing that school twice because as the brackets unfolded, they had to play them in the non-playoff game before Thanksgiving. So back-to-back games they played against St. Pope John Paul II High School. It was really an interesting thing to see the same teams play each other 2 weeks in a row, not something you normally see. And the Cougars were able to win on Thanksgiving Day, which was very exciting as well. So at this time, we'll have the national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fan. Oh, the ramparts we climbed were so
Teams will get one more chance to chat before taking the field officially. The Cougars in the huddle. Cougars have a new head coach this year. Former Hilltopper Justin Kogler no longer with the team. It is now head coach Anthony Nalen. It's a whole new coaching staff here. Defensive coordinator is Juan Galigo. The assistant varsity coach is Roman Mirik. And 3 other assistant coaches as well, Brian Bishop, Jason Springer, and Brian Wixton. Cougars have a young team this year, but last year they did finish well. As we mentioned, they actually made it into the playoffs, and they won a playoff game, the quarterfinal round of the D6 bracket, facing off against the Southeastern Hawks. Very impressive victory. It was one that was on the road, and they won it in overtime on a field goal kick, of all things. You don't normally see field goals in high school football, but the Cougars are one of those few teams that do kick very well. Chathan Nera had kicked that game-winning field goal last year in the playoffs, and he is still on the team. He is not doing the kickoff, though. It'll be Harold Beckford, a junior, number 10, getting ready to send this one down the field. It's a little squib kick, and taken by number 10. He scoops it up and smothers it. Jeffrey Rodriguez. And Salem will start just inside the 30-yard line. Seeing a lot of teams actually go with the squib kicks these days, and instead of trying to get it up in the air, they just put it on the ground. And you know, sometimes that's even harder to scoop up than catch one that's been coming down. Yeah, that's coming down from the sky. So it makes it difficult, because once the receiving team touches the ball, if it gets through, it's a live ball, almost an offsides. The quarterback fakes it, keeps it himself. Going to gain about 4 yards on the play. That was Jared Lubas, a junior quarterback for the Witches. He actually turned to his left to fake it, but nobody was there, so there might have been a little bit of miscommunication right off the start for Salem. Here at Connolly in Division 6, we play 10-minute quarters. Number 27 is in motion. That's Javier Robles. And they target him. Pass is complete, and then he runs into a wall. Minimal gain on the play. Lubas to Robles. A good first completion of the day, however, minimal gain. Brings up 3rd and short, about 3 yards to go. As mentioned, the Cougars are 1-0 on the season. They won on the road last week in their opening night game. Now here for their home opener, sporting the winning record. Diamond Regional lost their opening game last weekend. Oh, the ball is loose. It's a fumble in the backfield. That'll result in a loss. Salem does recover the ball, but it brings up 4th and long, and the Witches will have to punt. The Cougars force a 3-and-out here in the first defensive series. Nicely done. So special teams coming on to the field for the Cougars. Beckford is back deep. Harold Beckford, who did the kickoff. He's back at about the 30-yard line, waiting the punt. This is a good punt. Little knuckleball, if you will. Doesn't spin at all, and it drops and is detoned right at about the 36-yard line. That's a great punt from Salem. So the Cougars will start off about the same field position as Salem did on their opening drive. So it'll be 1st and 10 right at the 35-yard line. Number 4, Kevin Sullivan, is the QB, taking the field. And the Cougars are set up to pass on their first snap of the game. No, they hand it off and try to punch it up the middle, and it stopped after about 2 to 3 yards on the gain. That was number 28, Cameron Reese. He had a great season last year, an even bigger game in that playoff game at Southeastern that the Cougars won. Oh, right in and off the hands. Trey Morris couldn't come down with it, right through the fingertips, and it's going to bring up third down. Third and 8. Sullivan looking to pass. Big time pressure, and he's going down in the backfield. The Witches get a sack on third down. So they forced the 3 and out. And that was Robles, number 27, who got the sack. So now the Cougars will punch it away. So both defenses working hard here in the first quarter. It is number 17 back deep. That's Starje Prophet Bernardin. That's a pretty good punt for the Cougars. That one will go out of bounds at the 35. So both teams mimicking each other right now. Similar punt. Defenses with 3 and outs. So the Witches go back on offense now. They'll try to gain some positive yards on their second possession. Of course, the Cougars play daytime football. They do not have lights here at the Connolly Track and Stadium. Partly cloudy, 79 degrees here in the early goings of the game. Just a great Saturday afternoon for football as the Witches run it up the middle. Salem grabs about 4 or 5 yards on the carry. Four-yard gain, 2nd and 6 coming up. They toss it to, I believe that was Robles again. It was. And they mark him down after about a yard gain. So 3rd and 5. Tried to pitch it outside, and Robles just couldn't get outside and break around the defenders who were coming right at him. So the Cougars with an opportunity here for another 3 and out. Joel Nunez on the near side here. See if they pass. They elect not to. That's incomplete. Another 3 and out. Jared Lubis couldn't get away. Had pressure in the backfield. And he throws it into the grass, an incomplete pass. Salem will punt it away again. Fourth and 5. There's the snap. Oh, it's a high snap. The ball is still loose, and the Cougars will recover down at the 10. I was just about to say that if the defenses are going to play this way all afternoon, the team that makes the first mistake, the team that capitalizes on the opponent's first mistake is probably going to have a pretty big advantage this afternoon, and that's a big mistake there for Salem. The high snap just got away. First and goal from the 10. Sullivan hands it off to number 6, and he's in there. Jay McClure, the junior this year, with the 10-yard run into the end zone. Touchdown, Connolly. Didn't take too long right there. Quick 6. Matt Cliff doing the kicking. They'll go for the point after. And it is right through the uprights, dead on. 7-0 Bishop Connolly here in the first quarter. Now the Cougars will kick off to Salem after the quick score. About halfway through the first quarter already. So it goes in the books as a 10-yard run for Jay McClure. Another squib kick, same spot as the last time, and Salem can do nothing with it. So it's deja vu from the opening kickoff, basically the same result. Jeffrey Rodriguez received it. He was able to scoop it off the grass. The Salem Witches have not gotten a first down this afternoon. The Connolly D has been very good in the early goings, and it continues to be very good. Short gain on that first carry, only a yard. So this will bring up 2nd and 9. It's a keeper and going nowhere. Sean O'Connor on the tackle. 3rd and 9 now after no gain. So back-to-back 3-and-outs forced by the Cougars defense. They got a shot to make it 3 straight. 3rd and long. One would expect the Witches to pass here. And they will. And it's incomplete. It was intended for Javier Robles. So the Cougars defense stymieing Salem early on. Not allowing a first down here in the first 7 minutes of the game. Beckford in the backfield. Or partly back deep, I should say. At about the 33-yard line. Awaiting the punt. See if they get a lower snap this time. That's a good snap. The punt is off, but it's a short kick, and it's heading towards the near sidelines. Bounces back and will be dead at the 40. That's about the best field position for either side so far. Off of a punt or a kickoff. Not bad. Cougars will have decent field position. First and 10 for Connolly from their own 40. And they punch it up the middle. Solid gain there on first down. Close to the first down. They'll be a yard short, so 2nd and 1. Bit of a hurry-up offense here. No huddle. Going right back to the line. Kevin Sullivan there. Hands it off. Or he keeps it himself, actually. Across midfield now, first down for Connolly. Looked like they were going to hand it off to Reese. Sullivan faked it. I certainly bought it. Sullivan faked it, kept it himself, grabbed the first down. So now into Salem territory are the Cougars at the 46, 1st and 10. They hand it off that time. That's to number 18, Connor Brown. Connor Brown also listed as a backup QB, along with Griffin Lecomte, a sophomore. So Sullivan, the senior, he's the QB, but they have two that can play backup. That's always good. No gain on the first play there. 2nd and 10. 2 in the backfield. They get it to Reese. Reese tries to find a seam, following his teammates, and he'll pick up 4 or 5. Ball is marked at about the 41. That's a 5-yard gain, so 3rd and 5. Sullivan looking to pass, has wideouts, and he sends it right up the gut to Beckford, who comes down with it for another first down. Cougars move the chains. Good pass there from Sullivan to Beckford on 3rd and 5. Connolly inside the 30. Again, not wasting any time. Right back to the line. They'll run it. They hand it off to Brown. Brown with solid gain there. First quarter winding down. We have about 30 seconds before we'll switch sides. And we have a 2nd and 6 coming up for the Cougars. Sullivan looking to pass on 2nd down. And is it picked off the ground? If it is, that's a heck of a catch. It is complete. Nice scoop right off the blades of the grass. Brings up 3rd and short. And that's the end of the first quarter. So after one, the Cougars lead at 7-0, but they are marching downfield once again. The teams get the benefit of the break in action here. They will huddle up and meet as we switch sides. So everybody making their way down to the other side of the field now. 3rd and 1. Cougars inside the red zone. Listed as 3rd and 1 on the scoreboard, but it looks like it might be a little more than that, so we'll say maybe even 3rd and 2. Brown in the backfield, it appears. Sullivan, a quick pass to Chethan Nera. And there is a flag, our first penalty marker of the afternoon. See if he was close enough for the first down. Oh, it's a hold on the offense, so that'll back them up. Sure did look like Nera had enough for the first. Comes up a bit short. Cougars will come up short with the flag. That hurts every time. Ten-yard holding penalty. Brings up 3rd and 11 now. Trey Morris on the near side. Chethan Nera's gone to the far side now. He'll go one on one. Sullivan hands it off to, that was Cameron Reese. So they're inside the 25. The Cougars are going into the wind. We'll see if they go for it on 4th down. I don't imagine that they'd be kicking here. Too far for a field goal attempt, in my estimation. They are going for it. 4th and 7 to go from the 24-yard line. Sullivan back to pass, has a lot of time. Going for the big fly. Chethan Nera trying to come down with it, and he cannot. Had his hands in there. But great coverage by Salem. Double coverage. It was number 7, Vincent Gaskins, and Jeffrey Rodriguez, number 10. Double teaming Chethan Nera. I like the idea, going right to the corner. Couldn't come down with it. So the Witches will take over on downs from the 24-yard line. Not a bad place to be for the Cougars, I suppose. Salem will not have a short field here. They'll have a pretty long field to work with. So it remains 7-0 Bishop Connolly over Salem, if you're just tuning in to Fred TV. Evan Massoud with you here today. Just a great day for the Cougars home opener here at Bishop Connolly High School. Quarterback keeper, they shuffle it back to number 4. That's Giovanni Guzman. Doesn't go very far, and there's a penalty marker on the field. And normally when it's in the backfield there, it signals that it'll be an offensive foul, usually a hold or a legal block on the back. It is on Salem, so that will back them up. So from the line of scrimmage, 10-yard penalty. Brings up a repeat of first down, but now they'll have to go 20 yards. So 1st and 20 now for Salem after the penalty. Gonna pass down the field. Oh, does he reel it in? Yes, he does. Number 4 comes down with it. Giovanni Guzman. Hard tackle there, but what a catch. "15-yard pickup. Actually, 16 yards. 2nd and 4 now. The QB, Jared Lubis, had pressure coming. He got the pass off. And what a job by Guzman to come down with it, knowing that the tackle was imminent. This time they pitch it out. Get it to Roble, and does get across the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of about 1. A little more than 3 yards to gain now after they grabbed 1 on that last carry. So the Witches have to go about 3rd and say 3.5 yards. Have to get to the 35 for first down, and they do, and there's some room to go. Michael Kazidi all the way across midfield. Nice carry there for the Witches. They're moving the ball, and they finally get their first down in the game. It takes them all the way into the 2nd quarter to do it. The Cougars' defense has been dead on to start this game. Salem able to get the first down. Timeout for Bishop Connolly. Cougars break the huddle. They head onto the field once again. One game that we'll be looking forward to later this season in October will be when Bishop Connolly squares off against Diamond. They're in the same division, same league when it comes to football. And it's always great when the two teams that are literally like a mile apart from each other, maybe a mile and a half apart, get to square off against each other. They run it on first down, Salem does. The Cougars will host that league intercity rivalry game this year after Diamond hosted last year. So that game will be back here at Connolly in October. Short gain on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. 6 minutes to play before the half. Cougars holding on to a 1-score lead. 7-0 the score. Quick timeout as Salem wants to make a change. So this will be a 20-second timeout. Salem did not like how they were stacked up against the Cougars, so they'll make the adjustments. And they line up again. 2nd and 8. Have to get to the 34 for the first down. They pitch it to number 4. That's Giovanni Guzman. Tries to get outside. He is still on his feet, and they drag him down, and there's a flag. That's probably going to be on the defense there, holding the jersey like that. There's third down. We'll wait for the call on the flag. Oh, it's a face mask on the defense, a personal foul. And that's going to send Salem deep into Connolly territory. Not what the Cougars want there. 15-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Salem knocking on the door to the red zone. Trying to even things up here before the half. Looking to pass on 1st down. They go for the pass. It's tipped and incomplete. Good defense there by the Cougars. Trey Morris and Kevin Sullivan there. Second and 10. Lubas looking to pass again as pressure gets knocked down. It's complete. Robles into the end zone for the touchdown. Boy, he had to work for it. Going around the defenders. Salem gets their first TD of the afternoon. It's 7-6. .25-yard catch and run for the score. They go for the point after, and it's blocked. Picked up by Chethan Nera. He's on the far side, trying to get by the defense, and he will get dragged out of bounds. Can't make it back up the field. The point after attempt was by Ishmael Telemaco, and it was blocked, so the Cougars hold on to the lead by 1 point. 7-6 now. For Connolly, that's a great break because they have 5 minutes to work with, and they will get the ball to start the second half. So they have a good chance to keep the offense out on the field for a while if they can sustain a decent drive here to end this first half. They kick it off. This one's a line drive right down to the 15. Trey Morris trying to cut in. Oh, and he runs into a wall. Late hit there by number 10 of the kicking team, Jeffrey Rodriguez. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Receivers left and right for Kevin Sullivan. Quick pass to Trey Morris. It's complete. And he gains 5 yards. Down at the 30. It's 2nd and 5 to go. Sullivan looking to pass again, has a lot of time, goes for Beckford, and it's over his hand. He can't reach it, he leaped. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. 4.5 to play before the half. And the Cougars will huddle up this time. Want to make sure everybody's on the same page. They kind of rushed it in that last snap. We've seen them go no huddle a couple of times, trying to play a hurry-up offense. Looks like Sullivan wants to pass it again. 3rd and 5. They hand it off. Jay McClure, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It brings up 4th down. So good stop from Salem. They're going to get the ball right back. There's the snap. The punt is on its way. It's a short punt that's going to land right at midfield. Takes a favorable bounce for Bishop Connolly. And the ball will be dead right at about the 40. They got a good bounce because it landed right at the 50. An extra 10 yards on the roll. So we're under 4 minutes here. Salem with an opportunity to grab their first lead of the afternoon. They have decent field position starting at their own 40. Saw the Witches passing quite a bit on that last drive. The handoff goes to number 3, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Michael Kazadi going down without a gain. No positive yardage there. And he actually lost a yard. They're saying he lost a yard, 2nd and 11 now. Little shuffle pass to Roble, and he scampers his way across the 45. He'll be about 3 or 4 yards short of the first. Third and 4. 2.5 to play before halftime. Big spot for the Cougars. 3rd down and short. It's a quarterback keeper, and he's going to go down right at the line. The Cougars defense all over that play. Jared Luba's going nowhere. We got a timeout on the field. Bishop Connolly calling timeout with 1:54 to play in the half. The punting unit coming out on the field for the Witches. In these situations, you always got to watch for the count and the snap. Don't want to jump the line offensively and commit an offsides, because that's a 5-yard penalty. And Salem has less than 5 yards to go. It's 4th and 4, so a 5-yard penalty here would give them a first down and would keep them on the field. So the Cougars got to play it cautious. No offsides there. Good snap. The punt is on its way. Headed to Beckford. It's going to drop at the 25. It's a live ball. Beckford has to pick it up. Oh, vicious tackle right there. Jeffrey Rodriguez sending Beckford to the ground. So Connolly will have to go a long way. They'll start from their own 20. Again, they'll get the ball at the start of the second half. Salem received the opening kickoff to start the game, so Connolly will get the ball to begin the second half. Another timeout on the field. Connolly clinging to a 1-point lead. It's 7-6. Both teams with a touchdown here in the first half, but the Cougars were successful with the point after. The Witches had theirs blocked by the Cougars defense. So it's 1:45 officially on the clock. 1:45 to go. The Cougars have some time. We'll have to do grab some good yardage on each play. Chaithanera with the catch. That picks up 15. First down for Connolly. They'll move the chains as quickly as they can. They line right back up. The whistle sounds. The clock continues to roll. Sullivan looking to his left now. That is intended for... Actually, I believe that was Chaithanera again. He was on the far side. No, that was Beckford. Harold Beckford does come down with it, but it's short gain. He had to fall on the ball. 2nd and 8. Trey Morris with the catch. He's across midfield. Good for another first down with 1:02 on the clock. Connolly not wasting time. They have gained over 30 yards in less than a minute of play. And a timeout was called. So that stops the clock indefinitely. Cougars can regroup now on this next sequence. I love seeing the passing, though. So often in high school football, a lot of teams just elect to run the ball all game long. And it's nice to see the Cougars. They're usually very balanced when it comes to kicking, passing, and rushing the ball. They usually can do it all very well. Sullivan has to run. Now he'll throw on the run, and that was intended for number 81, Colby Hawes. Incomplete. It will stop the clock. 2nd and 10 now. From the 46, 2nd and 10. Cougars lined up to pass again. They hand the ball off this time. A running play. It's going to gain about a yard. And Connolly will have to burn another timeout. Matt Cliff, the kicker, warming up on the sidelines in case he's needed for a field goal attempt. Again, that's something that we don't normally see from most high school teams, but the Cougars, at least since I've been covering them, this is now the 4th season, the Cougars definitely know how to kick the ball. They're always well-balanced, a very well-balanced team. And it was that field goal from Chaithanera last year in the playoffs at Southeastern that won them that game and allowed them to advance in the D6 bracket. They're not afraid to kick the ball, but they would be kicking into the wind if they have to go for a field goal. 3rd and long. They have 9 yards to go with 47.6 seconds here in the first half. Not the end of the world if Connolly doesn't get in for a score. They do get the ball at the start of the second half, but another touchdown here would be great. They're going deep. Chaithanera, it's intended for, and it's picked off. Joel Nunez comes down with it. He got underneath Chaithanera, and Nera could not regroup and get around him. First mistake for Sullivan this afternoon, and it gives Salem an opportunity with a small window of time. From the 12, 1st and 10, Salem. And they'll pass on first down. Pass is good for a first down. Across the 25. And now Salem takes a timeout to stop the clock. Fans still filing in here. The end of the first half. Some late arrivals. They've missed a good first half, let me tell you. It's been a very competitive game so far. Very few mistakes from either side. Very few penalties. Been a clean game. 30 seconds to play. Oh, the ball is loose. It's a fumble. It's still loose. Salem able to recover, but they lose about 10. They're backed up to the 18-yard line, so they lose 8. Actually, they'll let the clock just wind down, and that'll do it for the first half. So you see the scoreboard on your screen. The Cougars lead it 7-6 at the half. They'll receive the kickoff to begin the third quarter. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back for the second half here on Fred TV right after this. And we're back to football. Second half action here from Bishop Connolly High School as the Cougars lead it 7-6, and they will receive the kickoff here to begin the second half. Let's recap the scoring there in that first half. The Cougars struck first. That's a good kickoff, and it's a live ball going out of bounds at the 10. Connolly will have a long way to go. But it was the Cougars who struck first in that first half. They scored a touchdown in the first quarter. It was a 10-yard dash by Jay McClure. The point after was good, kicked in by Matt Cliff. That made it 7-0. It stood that way until the second quarter, where Salem answered. It was a 25-yard catch and run from Jared Lubis to Javier Robles. But the point after was blocked, and that's the difference in the game right now. The Cougars' defense has been very good this afternoon, and it's thanks to that defense that they are leading 7-6. And so now they'll start on offense here in the third. And it'll be a rushing play right up the middle for a short gain. We're in week 2 of the fall sports season, week 2 of the football season specifically. And some scores from Friday night's game, or games, I should say. Diamond lost on the road, visiting rival Case. That puts the Bengals at 0-2 on the young season. They lost 34-13, but the Bengals on a bit of a rebuilding process, having now graduated their quarterback last year, Austin Crownenshields, who had been around for, all 4 years. He had a great athletic career. at Diamond, one of the standouts over the last 4 years. So losing him as a starting QB, it's going to be hard for the Bengals. They're going to have to regroup and kind of rebuild a little bit. So they're down 0-2, but the Hilltoppers were able to grab a victory last night against Taunton, 22-8, the final score over at Durfee High School's Mac Aldridge Field. This was their first home win since last year's opening day. So the Hilltoppers giving their fans a win on the home fields for the first time in a year. A catch is complete, and he's able to escape the tackle for the time being. Harold Beckford coming down with it, but still short gain on the play after the penalty. It'll be 3rd and 10. Third and 10 from the 9. The Cougars really could use a first down here. If they'd be punting from basically the end zone. So they need a good chunk of yardage. Trey Morris in motion. They're going to hand the ball off and not going anywhere. Strong defensive showing there from the Salem Witches. It's a 3 and out for Connolly. They will punt it from deep in their own zone. Fourth and 6, they'll punt from the end zone. It's a lobbing punt, and it is, oh, the ball is loose. It looks like Salem has it. They do. That's twice that the ball has come loose on the Witches, but they are able to keep it again. Punt did not get very far because it never landed. If it had landed, it probably would have rolled. Fantastic field position for Salem, their first drive of the second half. They'll start from the Connolly 33. First and 10. Fake the handoff. Lubel wants to pass, has pressure, and he's dragged down in the backfield for a loss of 12. Bobby Alves getting it done. That's a favorable spot of the football, if you ask me. Sure looked like the knee was down closer to the 45. It ends up being a loss of 10. 2nd and 20 after the sack. Passing. It's a short pass. Oh, it's complete. He reels it in. That was Roble, but he ended up falling down on the catch. He had to kind of lunge for it. So it ends up being short gain. He had a little bit of room to turn, but he stumbled and fell forward. 3-yard pickup, 3rd and 17. Roble in motion. Lupus not looking that way. He gets it to number 3. That is Guzman. Kazadi. That was Kazadi who got it back to about the 30. Actually shy of the 30. So it's going to be 4th and 10. Interesting spot here. I think they have to go for it. Too far for a field goal. You're not going to punt. So you're just going to hope that the Cougars can hold them. Connolly needs one more stop here. Salem lining up on 4th and 10. Ready to pass. And it is incomplete. The Cougars stop them on 4th down and will recover. So much like the first quarter began, here in the third quarter, both teams with nice defensive stops. It'll be 1st and 10, Connolly from their own 31. After the stop on 4th down, Sullivan with the quarterback keeper. He scampers up the middle, breaking a tackle across the 40 for a 1st down. Nice run there from the Cougars quarterback. They'll move the chains. Ball is at the 43, 1st and 10. No huddle here for Connolly. Right back to the line they go, not wasting any time. Sullivan keeps it again. He'll power it up the gut. Pick up 5. That ended up being a 4-yard pickup from Sullivan, so it's 2nd and 6 from just about midfield. And a flag. That might be a delay of game. Took a while for things to happen, yes. So Connolly will back up. After the pickup of 4, they'll back up 5. And the ball is actually right back at the original line of scrimmage, so they did pick up 5 on that Sullivan rush. Now they back up 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Beckford in motion. He gets the handoff. Still on his feet, clawing his way. Good run for the Cougars. Will bring up 3rd down. Third and about 6 to go. Just long of 5 yards to go, really, so we'll say 3rd and a long 5. Glass half full kind of approach here, I guess, right? 3rd and a long 5 from midfield. Oh, offsides. Roble jumped the line. Oh, they're calling a false start. That'll back Connolly up again. So it'll bring up 3rd and 10. Connolly playing back and forth here. Gain 5, lose 5. Gain 5, lose 5. 3rd and 10. Connolly set up for a pass here. Wide receivers left and right. Sullivan drops back. And it is reeled in by Chaitan Nera. Good for the 1st down as he's tackled at the 45. Good conversion there on 3rd down. Hard to believe, but we only have 2 minutes left in this third quarter. It is flown by. Sullivan is going to keep it. Runs into the pile, still on his feet. And he'll pick up about 2 or 3 yards on that carry. Went down hard. He lost the helmet and all. No worse for wear. Should be a 2-yard pickup. And it is. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. Just a beautiful afternoon. We started partly cloudy at 79 degrees. We're still at 79 degrees, but we have more sunshine now than we did earlier. They hand it off to McClure. McClure can't do much with it. It'll remain 3rd and 8. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage was McClure. So the Cougars facing another 3rd and long here on this drive. 60 seconds before the fourth quarter, and we switch sides. Three wide receivers on the near side. That's Beckford in motion. They hand the ball off, a little reversal here. Trying to cut in. Can he? Spins around, still on his feet. Picks up some positive yards, but he's going to be short of the first down, rather, to bring up 4th down. Fourth and 4 coming up with 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. One would imagine that the Cougars are going to let this one wind down before they switch sides and continue play. Time winds down before the snap, and that'll do it in the third quarter. It's about as fast as a quarter can get, really. So no scoring in the third quarter, 7-6. Connolly still holding on to the lead by 1. Both teams will meet as the officials regroup here. So 10 minutes left of game time to decide a winner this afternoon. Connolly facing a 4th and 4. They are not that deep in Salem territory, but they certainly can't kick a field goal from here, so we'll see if they go for it. It sure appears that they are. Don't see the punting unit on the field, so 4th and 4 for Bishop Connolly coming up right here from just inside the 40. Big spot for the Cougars. Sullivan looking to pass. He may keep it. Has pressure. He's still on his feet. And it's complete to Beckford for the first down. Connolly converts on 4th and short. They move the chains and keep this drive alive. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. They hand it off to Cameron Reese. He's fighting his way forward. He's have not been used too much in this game. As I mentioned earlier, he had a fantastic season a year ago. has not been used too much in this game. We've seen the Cougars passing a lot this afternoon. Quick substitution. Number 25 coming out for the Cougars. It's Kyle Avila, giving way to Jay McClure. Number 6. 2nd and 8. McClure still on his feet. That should be good for the first down. Cougars in the red zone. They do move the chains. Fresh set of downs. From the 15, 1st and 10. Cameron Reese with it. Powers his way through the pile. Nice to see some familiar faces here at the stadium this afternoon. Some Connolly alumni, former Cougars football players. Also, the Durfee Hilltoppers have some of their players here down sitting on the track side. 2nd and 5. We have a 3rd and short coming up. Third and 1. This is certainly 4-down territory if it gets there. Cougars at the 6. Oh, they almost lost it. Sullivan will be stopped in the backfield on 3rd down. Almost lost the football. So a bit of a mistake there for Connolly. And now a timeout called. It'll end up being 4th and 2 when they come out of the timeout. This was a full timeout here taken by the Cougars. 6:56 to play in the game. 4 minutes already gone. A 4th and 2 for Connolly. Do they kick it? Do they go for it? They are in field goal range. But it sure looks like they're going to go for it. This is a huge spot in this football game. Cougars lead by 1. They need 2 for the first down, 7 for the score. Oh, almost an offsides. Where's the flag? My goodness. Sullivan is going to keep it, and he's going to be short. That should have been an offsides called on the Witches. Multiple players jumping into the neutral zone. No flag. Wow. Salem takes over. That drive off for naught. So Connolly having to go back on defense. The good news for them is that Salem will have to start way back in their own territory. Roble taken down at the 10 for a short gain. A 2nd and 8 coming up here. 2nd and 8 from the 10. They're going to pass it. It's complete. That's Roble again. And that's going to be close to the first down. It might be enough. I'll tell you, the defenses have been the story this afternoon. Take nothing away. I still think that that was an offsides that was not called on that last sequence there on 4th down. But nonetheless, the defenses have really been the story. You can't just pinpoint that one flag, or non-flag, if you will. Both sides playing a great defensive game. It's a 1-point game still. There's been no score here in the second half. 7-6. The Cougars clinging to the lead, but Salem moving the chains. They got the first down. They hand it off to Kazadi, and he's not going anywhere. But if you're just tuning in, folks, this is high school sports coverage on Fred TV Channel 9. Evan Massoud here with you at Bishop Connolly High School. It's been a very close game all afternoon. And with the Cougars leading on their home field by just 1 point here with 5 minutes to play in the 4th, we hope that you'll stay with us for the conclusion of this one because it's anybody's game right now. 1 yard gain for Kazadi on that run. 2nd and 9. Gonna pass. Pressure is coming, and there is a sack. 2nd sack of the afternoon for Bobby Alves. And that will back up the Witches by about 6 yards to bring up a 3rd and 16. Cougars hoping to get the ball back here. 3rd and long. They'll pass it. Coming to the near side. It is picked off. Harold Beckford coming down with it. And the Cougars take over deep in Salem territory. 4:05 on the clock. First and 10 from the Salem 26. The Cougars go back on offense after the pickoff. Sullivan gives it off to Cameron Reese. Cameron Reese on his feet. Down across the 15 for a first down. This is the time of the game, and the Cougars not needing to go to a hurry-up offense. They're going to take their time because with each play, each complete pass, and each run that stays on the field, time will continue to roll off the scoreboard. The clock will continue to tick down. So they'll take their time. They want the score, but they also want to eat up as much time as they can. Cameron Reese across the 10. A gain of about 5 on first down. Timeout being called. It's a 20-second timeout to bring up 2nd and 4. The timeout stops the clock. Inside the 10, 2nd and 4 for the Cougars. 9 to go to the end zone, 4 for the first down. Cameron Reese has been busy on this drive. He gets the first down, but he's going to be just short of the goal line. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Cougars. Oh, there was a flag on the play on the far side. That's going to back Connolly up 5 yards. That was a late flag. Didn't even see it come through. So it's a replay of 2nd down, but this time now 2nd and 9. Backs Connolly up after the penalty. They'll give it back to Cameron Reese. Cameron Reese is into the end zone for the score. With 2:36 to play, Cameron Reese makes it a 2-score game. Go for the point after. Matt Cliff. The ball is down, and the ball is, never made it in the air, actually. So a bad kick there. Cougars lead by 7. It is not a 2-score game anymore. .236 on the clock. Connolly has the 7-point lead. Now they have to play defense. They have been stellar on the defensive side of the ball all afternoon. They have never trailed in this game. They started the scoring in the first quarter, and they have never trailed. And they will try to prevent a possible game-tying touchdown. A little squib kick. Interesting decision there, because that's going to give Salem great field position. Tyler Giles on the pickup there, number 6. And the Witches will start almost at midfield. So an interesting decision there on the squib kick. I would have liked to see them kick it downfield, especially since they're kicking with the wind. We'll see if that comes back to bite the Cougars. Lubel throws it away, picked off! Had pressure, was sacked, throws it away. Bobby Alves with the pickoff. And there's that defense that we've been talking about all afternoon. The Cougars continue to impress. Connolly takes over at the 37. 1st and 10 with 2:28 to play in the game. And it looks like a fumble recovered by Salem. My goodness. Can you believe this? Wow. You know, we've kind of seen this all afternoon too. One side does one thing, the other side answers. It's like anything you can do, I can do better. Both teams with 3 and outs to start the game. Similar punts. Now back-to-back turnovers. So Salem has life. But they're backed up a little further. 1st and 10 from the 27. Unbelievable. Pressure again. They'll throw it away. This time he gets it to Roble. A great pass. The Cougars defense, the pass rushers all over Lubel again. Or Lubis, the quarterback, Jared Lubis. That time he got it off to Roble. 2 minutes to play in the game. Looking to pass again. Here comes pressure again. And he's going down. Another sack and a loss of a yard. And we'll have a timeout on the field. I love pass rushers. And let me tell you, the Cougars have been very impressive with the pressure on the quarterback, particularly in this second half, but all afternoon. Been a very good performance defensively. Short meeting for Connolly in the timeout. They'll head right back out on the field. It'll be a 3rd and 7. And it'll be 4 downs each time here going forward for Salem. It's do or die time, so no matter where they are on the field, expect 4 downs. Right now it's 3rd down and 7 from the 30. Lubis passing to Roble on the far side. And he's tackled. Oh, I'm sorry, that was not Roble. That might have been Kazadi, number 2. Or Guzman, number 4. That's who it was. So 4th down and 6. Actually, scoreboard says 7. So 4th and 7. And it is complete. Tyler Giles coming down with it for the 1st down. They'll move the chains. Cougars with some quick substitutions defensively. Got to get off the field. The clock resumes. 1:10 to play. Salem has a long way to go. Almost an offsides there. Nothing called. That's the Roble. He misses it. Drops it in and out of the hands. That stops the clock at 1:02. 2nd and 10. This is just what you want from a high school football game. Competitive right to the end. It's a close game. I mean, blowouts are fun sometimes, but this is what we want. We want a close game. Keeps both sides into it the whole way through. Nobody has left. A quick huddle up with 62 seconds to play. The ball is snapped. 2nd and 10. Quick pass to the outside and is come down. And it is caught by Giles, number 6. Not wasting time again. 3rd and 5. Pass again, coming to the near side. The ball is loose. They're saying forward motion. That's that, almost like that tuck rule that Tom Brady was famous for. So it's called an incomplete pass. The arm was going forward. So no fumble there. But it does bring up 4th down, but more importantly, too, for the Witches, it does stop the clock, 39.2 seconds. Been a fast football game, too, let me tell you. This game in real time is only an hour and 40 minutes old, and we're just seconds away from the conclusion. On 4th and 6, he can't get the pass off. Lubas has to wait. Does he get there? He's out of bounds before the 1st down. It does not look like he got there. We may have a measurement. Not enough. Out at the 50. Cougars take over on downs. That'll seal the deal this afternoon. 26.7 seconds to play. The Cougars will more than likely take a knee. No reason to run a play and chance a turnover or something drastic. Salem has played a good game this afternoon, but it seems like whenever they tried to do something, the Cougars read it perfectly. And they were able to make the quick adjustments on the fly when they needed to. So 1st and 10 from midfield, right at the 50. Kevin Sullivan under center. Less than 30 seconds to play. Wait the snap. They will run a play. I am surprised to see this. It's a pickup of 7 or 8. 15 seconds on the clock. Nobody calling timeout. 10 seconds on the clock. And this one will be over with the Connolly Cougars winning their home opener. 13-6, the final score over the Salem Witches. The Cougars improved to 2-0 here in 2015. You know, the Hilltoppers had a great game at home this weekend, defeating Taunton 22-8. Their defense was outstanding. And Connolly, defensively, has played a fantastic game this afternoon. The Cougars, 2-0 on the season. Thank you so much for joining us on Fred TV Channel 9 for our high school sports coverage. Fred TV Sports for our cameraman, Ian Lubet. I'm Evan Massoud. Final score once again, 13-6. The Connolly Cougars defeat the Salem Witches. Have a great day, everybody.